Jesus says that those who hear his word and believe in God have everlasting life and will not be condemned, but will pass from death to life. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 11. God has made everything beautiful in its time and has set eternity in the hearts of men, but they cannot understand the work that God has done from beginning to end. All of us will spend eternity somewhere. Everyone you know will spend eternity somewhere. There are those who have adopted this thing. Well, let's eat and drink and be merry, for tomorrow we die, and that's it. No, friend, you live on. After the leaves have dropped from the trees, after the trees themselves have died and turned to dust, long after this world is gone and our sun has burned itself out and is just a cold dark rock floating through space, you live on. We are eternal beings. We live on somewhere in eternity with God or eternity separated from him, forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, and eternity hasn't even started yet. The guys who you play golf with on Saturday morning, and the guys in your foursome that you have lunch with, every one of them will spend eternity somewhere. Your kids, your loved ones, and your friends, they will spend eternity somewhere. The guys you play softball with in the softball league, everyone on your team, every guy on the teams you play against, will spend eternity somewhere. The neighborhood kid who cuts your grass will spend eternity somewhere. Your children's friends are eternal beings, and they will go into an eternity and spend that eternity forever and ever and ever and ever somewhere, either with God or forever separated from God. This earthly life is just preparation for eternity. When thoughts of eternity come into view, there are some things that generally accompany that. Number one is the realization that this earthly life, as short as it is just a dressing room and just preparation for eternity. We have one shot at it. The book of Hebrews says it is appointed to men once to die, but after this, the judgment. So, I have one shot to give my all for God. That is it. It's strange when I think about it. There was a guy who took a jar and put it on his desk, and he put 80 quarters in there. Every year on his birthday, he would take a quarter out. At first, man, it did not seem like it was going down at all, but pretty soon it just looked like there were maybe 20 quarters just covering the bottom of the jar. You know, I don't have a lot left. The question is, how are you spending your quarters? How are you spending the time that you do have? Are you living for Christ? Are you making an impact? Do you realize you are a steward? The other thing that comes to mind is the importance of evangelism. Like I said, everyone we know and everyone we don't know is an eternal being. Eternity is a reality. Listen, your chums at school, your girlfriends that go to college with you, the guys whom you hang out with, will spend eternity somewhere. When they leave this life, that is it, all chances forever done. If they have not made their peace with God here, they cannot do it once they leave. Thank God we are ambassadors, and we carry this message of reconciliation and restoration to favor with God. We want to rescue eternal beings. I think that is one reason why God set such boundaries around marriage and around sexual relationships. In the Song of Solomon, it paints this story of the marriage bed, and it says that there are armed guys with swords around the marriage bed. This is a picture showing God's protection of that. I think the reason is because God has given us the ability to bring an eternal being into existence, someone who will spend eternity somewhere. That is why God set such rigid bounds around our sexuality that it is to be enjoyed. It is created by God, but within the context of marriage because, literally, we have the ability to bring an eternal being into existence, someone who will go on forever and ever and ever and ever. Just a thought.